Hello everyone. I want all of you to check out my new RAG sleep optimization agent. So before we set off to build this entire workflow, let's understand first what RAG is and the working mechanism of it. So without further ado, let's dive straight into the explanation. What RAG exactly is, and by understanding it, how can you use it in your own projects. RAG, Retrieval-Augmented Generation. Here I have written the significance of each word. So retrieval means it retrieves relevant information from a knowledge base. It can be enhanced or improved. Generation basically means that it just generates response based on the input it has taken from the user. So if I had to explain it with an example, I would say that RAG is like an open book exam. Instead of just learning and memorizing all the information and making up some gibberish answers, you can look up for the specific information in your textbook to answer accurately in the exam. That's exactly what RAG does. It doesn't hallucinate, it does not make up some random information for the user. It has access to a knowledge base, and based on the information provided to it, it will predominantly generate a very accurate answer. So now you have understood what it does. Let's get straight into how it actually works and what is the mechanism behind it. So the prerequisite of understanding the mechanism of RAG, we need to learn what vector storage is, because RAG has a lot to do with vector storage. It essentially revolves around vector storage. So I'll walk you through two concepts, RAG pipeline and RAG agent. So pay attention to what I'm about to say. Vector storage refers to a type of storage where users can store data in the form of numerical vectors in multi-dimensional space. So as you can see in the diagram, the points that are closer to each other and stored as vectors in this multidimensional space here in this particular area have something to do with animals, because it's wolf, dog, cat, it's obvious. And the points here have something to do with fruits. So how all the animal data and all the fruits data happen to be very close with one another in this multidimensional storage. So in this subject, there is something called embedding models. So when we store data as numerical vectors in the vector storage, embedding model captures all the semantic meanings of these data points, basically the context, the similarities and the things of this nature, and put them in the close proximity. You'll get the complete picture of this concept when I'm explaining about RAG pipeline. Let's move to our Excalidraw. So here I have made a sort of diagram to help you understand what RAG pipeline is. So let's say there is a company who wants to create an agent about their terms and policies. So they want to push the document of their terms and policies into the vector storage so that our RAG agent can utilize that knowledge base and solve customers' problem. When we try to store something in vector storage, the first step is chunking. Let's say this document is of 1,000 words. So in order to push the data into vector storage, it chunks the data and divides it into the batches of 200 each. Why we do it? So this way it will not miss any context or meaning, because it's paying attention to small chunks of data at a time. Once the chunking is done, our embedding model, there are many embedding models out there, ChatGPT, Gemini, Mistral, you can use any embedding model. The model you use will influence the quality of your vector storage and the way it stores the meaning of it. In this step, embedding model will capture the meaning and the context of each chunk or batch over here. Then it will turn it into vectors. This is vectorization process where the data is converted into numerical representation, and finally it is being stored in the multidimensional space of vector storage. Let's move to our RAG agent. So how when a query is passed, it looks up in the knowledge base and give a very accurate answers. It's not at all like your normal agent which generates random answers. RAG agent is a very specialized agent. So the query is, what are the different types of marketing? Our AI agent will then communicate with the embedding model, which will convert or vectorize the query into the numerical vectors. So then it will look for the area where majority of the data points are related to marketing. It looks for the relevant information in the vector storage. It gets the information, the query and the content which we received. So once the meaning of the context matches with our query, it generates a response which will be very accurate. So the RAG agent that we are going to be building before long, the platform we're going to use for our vector storage will be this, Pinecone. Pinecone is a cloud-based vector database designed to efficiently store, search and retrieve high-dimensional vector data. I like Pinecone because it has a very user-friendly interface. So let's hop onto our N10 window and start building your first RAG agent. So first, let's add a node, trigger node, Google Drive. So this workflow will trigger when changes involves a specific folder. When any changes happens in a specific folder, this workflow will trigger. And here in my Google Drive, I have made a demo folder which is called RAG doc, and here we're gonna be pushing our documents. So here my Google Drive is already connected to N8N, and if you want to do that, just go here, just open the drop down list, create new credentials. Here you have to input your client ID and secrets. For that, so go to docs here. Here it will open a window. It will step by step show you the way you can connect your Google account to N8N. So the first step is go to Google Cloud Console and create an account. Obviously my account is already created. Create a Google Cloud project. So you will see some interface like this. So all you have to do is go here, create new project, give it the name you wish. In the left panel, go to API services, here credentials. So once you open this window, create credentials, API key, create an API key, and you will see something like this, client ID, and when you open it, you will see the client secret as well. And then the last step is go to OAuth consent screen, audience. You have to add a test user. Basically you are telling the Google Cloud Console that it should permit all the requests that are made from this account and allow it to use the Google services. So the explanation was pretty short and quick, and if you found it hard to understand, just go to docs and follow the steps in the order and you're good to go. So let's get back to our N8N. So in the Google Drive trigger, I'm going to select my document, RG doc selected, and watch for file created. Let's choose this. So whenever we create or upload any file there, the workflow will trigger itself. And here you can set the time intervals that you want your workflow to, just check in with the folder link if something has arrived. So alright, this node is completely set up properly. So once it fetches the information about the file created or uploaded, whatever, it should download the file in order to use it in its own environment, because subsequently we have to push that file into our vector storage, right? So go to our drive node and look for download file. Yeah. So we'll set up the credentials later. Let's add all our nodes. So here I'm going to be using, as I said, Pinecone vector storage. So our operation will be add document to vector storage. So obviously my Pinecone credentials are also connected to it. So all you have to do is just go to Pinecone. You will have interface like this. Go here, generate API keys. Just create an API, give it a name, and here you will have your API key. Go back to your N8N workflow, create new credentials, and just input the API key, save, and you're good to go. Let me go back to my Pinecone and create an index demo 2. So I'm going to choose this model, Llama Text Embed v2, and the dimension will be 766. So dimension basically means how much storage you want to allocate for your data. So let's understand it like this. If someone had asked you to express your childhood in 50 words, and the other person had asked you to express your childhood in 1000 words, right? In 1000 words would be much more clear, because it would be able to cover more nuances and more feelings of your childhood, right? Similarly, higher the dimension, better it will be able to capture the meaning of our data. So as you can see, that index has been created here. Let's jump back to our N8N workflow, and if you search here from list, I think I have to refresh it. Yeah, from the list, as you can see, it shows up. Select demo 2, the embedding batch size, which I explained, the chunking size will be 200. So here as our embedding model, I'm gonna choose Google Gemini. Embedding model is done. Here in the document node, we have to select default data loader, which will just load the data. And the type of data that we are inputting is binary, because it will come in the PDF format. And let's keep all the settings the same. Text splitter will be recursive text splitter, and the batch size, chunk size will be 200. So as you can see, everything is almost set up except this node, and I have not yet set up this node because we don't know what file will be. So let's jump to our Google Drive, add a file. Document we're going to be pushing in our vector storage will be the ultimate guide to optimizing your sleep. Stick to a consistent sleep schedule, get sunlight in the morning, create a wind down routine 1 hour before bed, you should not use your phone, etc. So let's test the first step. So here we tested the first step and it input our very file that we uploaded here. And in the next step, just look for ID. Just put the ID here. So when this workflow runs, it's gonna pass the information through this node, and the ID will be delivered automatically to this node. And whatever file is created or uploaded there, it's gonna fetch it automatically. All right. So let's test our workflow. Testing, it fetched the information. The Google Drive node is downloading the file. So as you can see, the workflow executed successfully, and let's check in a Pinecone. New namespace default has been added with the records 19. This is our RAG pipeline which has successfully run. So it is just responsible for pushing the informational document or whatever in your vector storage. So now we will create our RAG agent. RAG agent is the end where our customers and our clients will be able to communicate with the agent. So let's look for chat trigger. The next node will be our AI agent node. Here we'll add an option, system message. The system message is basically telling your AI agent what it's supposed to do. I'm leaving it like this because it's not necessary in this case. But obviously, if you are using your AI agent for some high-stake projects, you have to give a very detailed prompt here. So as a chat model, I'm going to be using Open Router chat model, where the model will be GPT-4o Mini. Log into your Open Router account, go to keys, then create an API key, and you will have your API key. Just copy it here, create your credentials, paste it here, and save. You're good to go. Memory for this example, we're just gonna use simple memory. So the context window length is 5. It basically means that our AI agent memory will be able to only remember the most recent 5 messages. Now we have to give our AI agent access to our knowledge base where we have stored our document. So go to your tool, search for Pinecone vector store, and name here, as you can see, is default. From the list you have to choose demo2 because this is where we have stored our document. So in embedding, since I already have a node, I can just drag it and connect it to this. Yeah, NNN platform actually gives you enough flexibility to do all this cool stuff. It's time to test our RAG AI agent. So let's see how it can help us. Hey, how can you help me? I can assist you with optimizing your sleep. If you are looking for tips, strategies, or specific information related to sleep improvements, feel free to ask. So let's see. I use my phone before going to bed. Is it a good habit? Using your phone before bed is not considered a good habit due to the following reasons: blue light exposure, sleep disturbance, and it also gave the recommendations. So it's basically generating a response based on the information we have given as our document. Can you see how amazing it is? And there are companies out there that blow ridiculous amount of money when it comes to this entire support system, like customer support and terms and policies and guiding your customer to solve a problem and many more. It has amazing conversational abilities and it will only provide information based on what you have given it. So there is no chance, if not very less likelihood, of having any hallucination in the responses, and it basically ensures overall accuracy of the data. And yeah, I guess that is it for today. And I hope that you've got some good takeaways from this video and actually learn how to build your own RAG agents. It still might look a little intimidating when you see the workflow like this, but once you start building, follow the steps that I have explained in the video and subscribe to this channel to get more content updates, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.